So welcome back to our channel. So this is Jonas and I'm into cars, bikes, bicycles, anything with wheels, outdoors and DIY. So if you like those stuff, don't forget to like this channel, subscribe, and today we're going to be working on the Pajero. Today we're going to be talking about our car paint. Um, this is the most neglected part of a car. Mostly car owners believe that having your car washed every day is enough. Washing your car is not enough. We need to somehow protect the paint from the sun. If you notice, there's a lot of cars where the clear has faded or dulled, or the redness of a car lightened, or even clear, especially the pillars. They just peel off. That's the reason for that is it wasn't protected, or it was protected but it wasn't enough. So protecting your paint is an investment because a paint job is really expensive. Here it's the cheapest would be 2,000 dirhams, which is about 30,000 pesos, or in dollars. 700, 721, something like that, $700. So I would rather do preventive than spend money on repairs because they're really expensive. Second is sometimes the repair is not as good as the original one. So today we're gonna be, try to prevent an expensive repair. So in order to prevent any damage to the paint, we need to put wax on it. This is the cheapest. This is the cheapest way of preventing it, but there's a lot of other products like ceramic. For now, because we have this at home, so we might as well use it. And then, of course, before we apply on this, we need to clean the car. And with that, we're going to be using a clay bar. So because we need to wax our cars under the sun, and we will be doing it halfway because we don't have that shade. So we're gonna do the front and then later on flip the car and do the backside. So now we're cleaning it. Cleaning it under the sun is actually not a good idea. That's why I'm just gonna be cleaning half of it. I won't be showing you all the process because I don't want to be wasting your time. I'll just do the front, and that all goes the same to every part of the panel of your car. So just clean it very well with any ordinary car wash soap. The goal here is to have it clean as much as possible so that the wax will adhere to the paint and not to the dirt. Because sometimes if you embed the dirt under the wax, it will actually do harm than good. Now you don't have to dry it very well because you will actually lube it with water later on. Either use water or a waterless detailer. Water will do. If you can feel it, it's really rough. This is claying. Now claying only works if you see how much dirt we pulled from the paint. So claying only works if your clear is, good, looking good. If you have clear that is already rough or faded, claying won't work, because clay will only work on soft surface. So every now and then you need to flip this so that you will hide the impurities within the clay. Now, how often do you need to do this? Claying twice a year. But wax, especially if you're in a very harsh environment, I would do it once a week, I think, for me. Because as often as possible, you would want to do this. See, when we started, the sound of the clay against the paint is really rough. Now it's almost smooth as butter. Smooth as butter. So how can you tell if you're done claying? This is done. So it's really smooth. There's no drag, there's no sound. While here, there's drag and it's rough. You can hear it. Compare it to here. So we are done with the clay bar, so we just have to clean this again, and then let's start flaxing. So we are done with the hood, fender, right door, and pillar. The rest we'll do it later. I think doing it indoors is actually better. You can do everything all at once, but we don't have the space, so we need to plan our moves in order to do the task. I think I'll be able to do this outside in the afternoon later. I just want to do at least half of the car before noon comes. Now the reason why we clean this is because we don't want any impurities. Even the clay has impurities that would stick to the car, the paint. We don't want that, but we want the wax to adhere directly to the paint. And now is the time to dry it completely. Time to apply the wax. Shake this vigorously, and then key point is apply this on a dry, cool surface, never on a hot surface. Now if the surface is hot, Then you can cool it down with a wet rag. So it will cool down. I'll apply here first. So I think the sun will go to it very soon. Now here's a wrong practice. We were doing this when we were young. We would wax our cars and leave it, and then drive it around the city. So we were thinking that the wax will dry much more completely, and it will help the paint to be shiny. Our goal back in the days was not to protect the car, but actually to make it look shiny. But of course, we learn as we grow old. The wrong thing about that is, as the wax dry, it becomes a little bit tacky. So you driving it around the city will attract dirt, and once you dry it out, once you wipe it off, when it's fully cured or dry, or as they say, hazed, and all the dirt on the wax will be rubbed onto your paint. So wax it as equal as possible. You don't need to apply it thick. Because you're just gonna wipe off the excess. So if you apply it very thick, you're just throwing away money. So as thin as possible. Now, if you want an excellent job, then just apply it twice. I think that is better than applying it very thick. Now let it dry to a haze, and then we will wax off.
Wax on. Wax off.
So now that it's dry to a haze, see, it's really dry. So now we're gonna buff it off. By the way, I earlier said that I might not clay the roof. Well, while I was claying the hood and the doors, I noticed that there was much more contaminant on the hood as compared to the doors. So I think it's required to do the roof, because I'm sure that's gonna have more contaminants. So flip your rag or change your rag frequently. You can buff it more efficient, because your goal is to remove the wax. The hazed wax. It's not entirely all the wax, but just the hazed one. because the rest will stick on the paint, which will protect the paint eventually.
Once you're done waxing, you need to rinse it. Yes, you heard me right. You need to rinse it. Because now that the wax is applied, and then you rub it with the rub, and it creates static. And static will attract dust, and your car will be dirty after a few seconds. So what we're trying to do now is remove the static energy with water. And then after this, you dry it and you're done.
There we go. Our waxing process is done. So if you notice, this is really shiny and smooth. While here it's rough. So we still need to do fenders, this side, the back, and the roof. So I might be able to finish this and the other side today. But the roof, I might do it tomorrow or the next day. Well, as a bonus, there's another thing that you should consider maintaining, especially for those who has leather seats. So our leather seats needs upkeep. We need to clean it and apply leather conditioner. Because if you don't, you need to press this to stop this buzzing. So our leather seats needs upkeep, because if not, they're gonna dry up and they're gonna be brittle and they're just gonna tear up. So this is very easy to follow. When your seats are clean, just apply it. So it's just gonna be same as a lotion. So you apply it to stop the drying of your skin. So there's a lot of us guys who neglect this because we think that leather doesn't need any maintenance, but they're very high maintenance. You really need to condition this at least once a month. It's the same as our leather jacket. And then, before I move on to the other seats, there's one more thing. So your dashboard and your panels, they still need some cleaning to do. Again, it's gonna be brittle if it's just cleaned by a rag, so you need something to protect it. So still, you need a rug. Spray it again, don't apply it on hot surface. Stated here, direction: shake well, spray onto soft cloth or directly onto surface. It doesn't state. It doesn't state here, but I would avoid applying this on hot surface because it has tendency to evaporate quickly and won't get soaked in your vinyl or your plastic. So again, it sort of works like a lotion. It stops your dashboard from drying up. And of course, it makes it look cleaner. So this is good on your vinyl dashboard, plastic. So just avoid your switches, because sometimes it will seep in and will damage your switches. So again, good on plastic, vinyl. I don't think it will do any harm to leather if it gets into leather. So I really don't mind getting onto some of the leathers, especially in the side panels. I don't think it's gonna harm the leather. We'll probably just do this first, so at least you can condition the leather. For the leather, apply it liberally. Don't be cheap, because that's the only thing that will protect it. Wipe as much area as you can. Of course, my work doesn't end there. Still have to vacuum the mat. Clean like when it was new.